Hey y'all. So today I'm going to do a reading on Jesus and Mary Magdalene. This is a reading that I thought about a few times, but just never got around to it. But recently I've been seeing this video. Oh, it just came out today, so very recent. Came out 8 hours ago. So on the legends of history. I don't know if y'all can see that. But yeah, on the Legends of History, I tried to remember to link the video. They're talking about the lost gossips of Mary Magdalene. So I only got to 7 minutes and 49 seconds in the video, so I didn't finish it. I don't know what's going on, y'all. My throat chakra. So yeah. Um, I didn't finish it, but it made me want to do this video. I want to dig into it. Um, but the little bit that I did here, I want to go read it myself versus watching this video. I'd rather like just go and read the gossip myself. But yeah, real interesting. All right, so where should we start? Where should we start? Hmm. I feel like using a visual. So I'm going to use the light seer cards. Okay, we're going to start with asking how they met. Okay. Mm. How they met Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So I did watch that TV series Chosen. Pretty eye-opening, pretty interesting. Glad I watched it. Um, and it was telling so in Chosen, Mary Magdalene was possessed. She wasn't a prostitute. At no point they ever made her a prostitute. I really appreciate that actually. I do know why they was considering Mary Magdalene as a prostitute, but she wasn't ever an actual prostitute, but she did believe in being sexually liberated. Jesus actually learned a lot from Mary Magdalene. Um he actually learned how to be more of himself, to open up more, to open up the solar plexus. Cause I feel like before he met her, he was kind of reserved. It is an energy though, starting to surround this reading. All right, so straight out the bat, the chemistry was there in the motherfucking beginning, okay? The chemistry, okay? It was romantic vibes. since the motherfucking beginning. So I'm asking how they met. So the first card that came out is the Tower. My initial thought was, so what they portrayed and chosen is really accurate. At that time, Mary, she was in a really dark space, like in a dark night of the soul. Somebody close to her died. And that show chosen to show her dad pass away, but I'm picking up on a woman energy. Somebody, a woman died, and it really sent her spiraling. She dealt with some really low self-esteem at the time. But see, Mary, she always had like she had something about her and it made people gravitate towards her. It made people interested in her. She always had a light. So even though she was in a dark space, people still kind of respected her. You know, it was actually rumors. It was actually rumors. There were suitors. I don't even know why I'm using that particular word, but there was suitors, and they was interested in her. And when she didn't like submit to them or agree to be with them, they would make rumors up about her. Yeah, there was a lot of betraying. There was a lot of betraying, a lot. But you know, this is what happens to divine beings. Divine beings get betrayed like all the time. So there was a lot of jealousy. But I don't think that she had that awareness of like these people are just really envious of her and her light. She didn't have that awareness yet. Um, she just felt alone and she felt outcasted and she felt misunderstood. So she was going through a really dark time. And then somebody she really cared about passed away, and it really put her in a dark space. And I do think that it was some type of substance. Could be something that you chew or something like that. It do get you high. Maybe even a mushroom or something. Or like some type of herb that you chew and it do get you high. So let's get clarity for the tower. Mary, she was a really lively, passionate ass person. Like, okay, let's just look at the cards for a moment. Cause they are depicting a lot of women. Well, a woman. And I feel like this really points at her personality, the type of person that she was. She was very radiant. She definitely had a light about her. And people noticed it and they was attracted to it, but she was also very free spirited. Mary, today we probably would call her like a hippie. She was always wanting and searching for more. And I think that she was on the verge before she met Jesus. She was on the verge of running away, I'm hearing. Like she was going to leave wherever she was at. She was going to do it regardless if she would have ran into somebody. But mm, then I looked over. Funny. I looked over. Okay. I'm talking about it was chemistry in the beginning. It was like love at first sight. Okay. It was cosmic. It was intense. It was something. It was quick. It was a tower. Okay. I'm talking about when they met. It was a tower, but then it was instant joy. So them running into each other, it both caused them to be in this sun energy. I'm hearing instant. I'm just feeling like when they met each other, it was instant recognition, instant chemistry, instant a feeling of liberation. Um instant kundalini activation, solar plexus activation. By them coming together and being together, they started to make each other shine brighter. Now, Jesus didn't come to her like how they present him and everything. Like, chosen is pretty accurate. Chosen is pretty accurate. I give it that. But I'm saying, but it's not 100% because, you know, Jesus was still becoming enlightened. Yes, at that time he had a lot of wisdom and knowledge and everything, but he was still processing, learning things along the way. Um, but at the time he was just following his spirit. So the interaction was more normal than you would think. It wasn't just like he seen her and she was just like out of her mind and he put his hand on her forehead and then instantly she was healed. No, it was like a whole process. They met each other. There was a recognition, there was an activation, and then the healing um took place over time. But really they found each other and they just stayed together to the end. That's why with this Ten of Swords, it looks very peaceful. It gave me the feeling of recovery. But it was a slow process. It wasn't instant. It wasn't instant. Okay, I'm gonna take this lover card. Give me more on the knights. Ooh, of cups. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm. Yo. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. There was like this whole twin flame shit that went on. So it was actually more drama, you know. Um, it was actually that's the Eight of Wands. It's reversed though. Jesus actually ran from the connection at one point. Yeah, man, this is just a real thing, with the twin flame thing. I think it's because for some people it could be really scary. Like even if you think that you prepared for it, and then once you experience, um, it make you process a lot of different things. It makes you um learn yourself even more, learn who you are, learn your shadows and accept them and integrate with them. Okay, more on this. And 90% of the time, it is the masculine energy that is going to be the runner. 90% of the time. Um, something about that is ordained. Like it's very purposeful. Like, I don't know. It's aggravating, but it's a part of the process. Lord and mercy. Look at this. Nine of Wands. Okay, so yeah. They met. It was a real intense, instant connection. And then they did separate. Now, when remember the Chosen show, it did show that. Like after he healed her, he left for a moment and then came back. Yeah, that's what it's showing here too. But it wasn't like the show. Like Jesus straight ran from the connection, straight ran from it. But it was actually Mary who started to balance out the connection. I'm hearing that she actually helped bring him back to evangelism. 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 That's the word that I was hearing. So it's basically preaching. Um, she led him back to that. She led him back to doing his purpose. Jesus wasn't he wasn't non-committal. That wasn't it. But he was also free spirited, had friends. Um, but he started to cut them off slowly because he was realizing that they wasn't satisfying. At some point, Jesus had some type of mentality that he didn't really think that for his purpose, he should be involved in a romantic relationship. That he felt like in the beginning, he felt like Mary was a distraction. Mm. And by him feeling like that and her like intuitively knowing that he felt like that, she started to activate. She started to gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom on her own, not even from him. She didn't learn it from him. She started to learn it on her own. I'm actually hearing that a lot of what Jesus know, um, it was him and Mary actually came to this enlightenment together. He wasn't even truly enlightened until he met Mary. Damn. And yeah, you see how these cards came out together? A male and a female. They was both during the separation stressing about each other. But they experience the stress differently. Like she felt bound and trapped by whatever position or wherever she was in her life at the time, but he felt influence. And I don't think it's by any person or thing or anything. I think that it was the shadow, his own shadow influencing him, the ego, like fighting for the wrong cause, thinking about things the wrong way, like the way that he thought about things was backwards in some ways. Like he truly believed that love was not a part of his mission, that it was a distraction. So he kept trying to reinforce that belief. Like, this is a distraction. This is a distraction. Let me not continue to long for this or want to connect to this. But it stressed him the fuck out. It stressed him the fuck out. So yeah. And he never gave a fuck about the rumors, you know. But I do feel like he heard about them. I do, but I don't feel like he ever gave a fuck about the rumors because he understood he was very wise and enlightened at this point. Yeah. But there were some things that needed to be activated in him, some things that he had to face. And because he haven't had an experience to help him to face it yet, um, it wasn't something that he had awareness of, not yet, until he met Mary, and then it activated a new lesson. And then what? Then what? Too many cards. Let's see what they say though. All right, and then what? Hmm. He came back. He came back. But when I was looking at those cards that I reshuffled, he came into he was told something in a vision or a dream or something like that. He was told something. He was given information. The information was deep too. The information wasn't just about, you know, their purpose and that life together. The information was about their purpose of being in general. So yeah, he went on a whole journey when it came a whole spiritual journey when it came to Magdalene. I'm hearing that he remembered all their lives together. He was able to access that information and he unlocked and was able to time travel and see all their lives together. It was actually him meeting her that um fully awakened him to his mission in that particular life. But because he was able to access memories of their past and future lives together, um, he was able to witness like other things that was at one point hidden. Mm, I need water. Yeah, and so at that point, he felt like no, he didn't feel he knew that he had to be with her. Like he had to go through this journey with her. He knew that for a fact. And he knew that bad things was going to happen, but Spirit had let him know that Mary was going to be okay and she was going to be able to handle it. Not just that, she was able to actually understand him. You will be surprised how much the disciples did not understand what Jesus was saying. I'm talking about you'll be so surprised. Even with them taking notes and everything like that, there was certain things they just couldn't grasp. But Mary, she was able to. And that's why he knew that he needed her around. Because I don't think she was just able to understand, but she at times was able to translate what Jesus was saying to other people to help it make more sense to them. She was able to do that. So he knew that he had to work with her, but he knew that bad things was going to happen. Um, the love that Jesus and Mary Magdalene had, what it manifests into is some shit that people's not used to seeing. Like people just not used to seeing that. Hmm. I just got chills for a minute. Um, because there was a dedication, a very deep understanding between them. If you was to look at them, see them interacting and talking to each other, some people felt like it was supernatural. Yeah, it was very odd to people to see what they seen between them. I think it's also because um I don't think that they ever hid their affection. So that's why it's so surprising that the Bible never talks about it. But I feel like that's more due to Jesus wanting this to be not yet revealed. Um, Even if people wanted to write about this love story, they will put a stop to it. I felt like they both agreed to that, but for different reasons. Jesus, he knew something. He knew about the future. He knew that it would cause too much of a disruption to add certain things about their relationship. For Mary, she wanted to be known as like a disciple, not as his lover. She wanted to be known as a disciple. For her though, it was because she wanted people to take her seriously. Um, it's actually a lot that is still hitting. I still got the urge to hide it. Um, okay. Yeah, I see why. I see why. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end the reading here. I might do a part two. No. Um, it's going to be shown. It's going to be shown. So all of this will make sense like very soon. Okay, y'all, stay blessed.